Rightio, after all the recent heavy rain, the track's a little bit chewed out and the slicing Sasquatch mobile is probably not going to make it through safely, so I'm going to walk an extra couple of kilometres. Probably add about maybe close to 2k's to the trip, but that's okay. I'm off to check my little gifting station and then also set up a trail cam, and I'll come back and camp here again pretty soon. I have been to this location, but it's a cracking day. Nice bit of cloud cover. And there she is, Mount Barney. Beautiful mountain. Alright, let's push on and see what happens. I think some of these creek crossings might be swollen, so we'll just see how they go. Hopefully I won't fall over. And I didn't think it would take too long to come across some funky looking tree structures. So you've got a fire damaged tree at the base there. I'll actually see if that's embedded in the ground. But then that's laying across a little branch. Look at that, just sitting there like that. And then we've got another one interwoven across there. Coming down to there. I'm just going to try lifting these and seeing if, I think this one's in the ground okay. Yep, that's pretty well bedded in. This one here can be lifted. Or maybe, yep. Bit hard with one hand. Okay, that one's pretty well bedded in, but I don't think that's the stump. It's very, very interesting the way these things are interwoven. And you've got one going through there. But anyway, we'll push on. I'm actually going to head for that escarpment up there today. Well, you can see how much volumes of water have come through here recently. All this green foliage has been pushed over. Dead trees there, green trees there. Oh, look at this, you've got a nice thick green tree there. It's been pushed over. Yep. I'm thinking this is probably a good spot to cross because it's quite shallow. And I don't want to encounter any big rapids up there. That gave way pretty quick. I think I'm going to have to get my boots wet today, but I'll be keeping an eye out for footprints. And I want to make my way up through that way. But I am going to backtrack. Oh, very soft underfoot. Ain't no trails in here. Just lots of lignum and lantana. And there's another creek. I think I'll have to follow it downstream and reassess a little bit further. So I don't know how recently this piece of driftwood has been here, but we have had some massive amounts of rain lately. But look at that little piece of driftwood that would have come down the creek on the surface, got caught up on that little branch hanging in the water, and then the water's receded and it's just been suspended there. And then across the other side of the bank you can see some more driftwood up in the tree. When I get over there, that'll be above my head. So I think there's no other way around it, but I'm going to get my feet wet. And I'll show you the height of this. There you go, that's at full stretch. Look at that. Let's send him home. See you on the other side, buddy. So I'm standing on a rock here that's half a foot tall, and that's probably just a little bit bigger than my head, so I'd probably say 6.5 foot. I tried to cross further over, but it's a little bit too deep and too fast flowing, so I want to try and get over there so I can get up on that mountain ridge. But I'll just follow the creek along for a bit and see where we end up. Now I've got my mobile phone in a glad bag in the top of my backpack, so there's no chance of getting a dunking. There's some nice little pools there. Wow, some beautiful terrain here. We've got a lovely little watering hole. It's got a bit of depth to it. Maybe on the way out I might have a bit of a dip. Looks very inviting. Got that beautiful almost ocean sand in there. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up. And there is another river on the other side of me, over that way. So it forks, spreads off into a fork. So I can either try and backtrack and try and cross, or hope there's another little rock crossing and I can try and get over that way. But this terrain's pretty full on. Do you take the high line or do you take the low line? I'm going to take the high line. Maybe even head for high ground and see if I can drop down. That's better. Got a lovely little escarpment up that way. And there's the other creek. At least I can walk a bit quieter. Yeah, that's natural. This big dark tree brought down this gum. Oh, there's a fence. Okay, let's get through there and see if I can cross. I think that's looking like the best option. Time to pull the pants up. And work on my footing. These boots are Gore-Tex, but they're not going to keep me dry in this depth. Thank you for the cloud cover, it's good. These rocks are a little bit slick. Right. Let's make our way up to that mountain. And don't forget to pull your trousers down in case of snakes. Kangaroo. Okay, when you come across this sort of stuff, it pricks your attention. I mean, it could be a human footprint, obviously. It's got some size to it. If you look at it, say it starts around there, runs up through there, you've got a toe print, a couple of other toe prints there, that's a wide foot. And then the foot comes down through here, maybe back to around there. Now I think this would have obviously been done when the ground was a bit more firmer, but you can still see something has pushed that down quite a fair way, with predominantly most of the weight being on the front half. Just for a reference, there's my sunglasses. So I'd say that's probably close to 6 inches wide. And if that's the heel there, that's a pretty decent sized print. Obviously could be human, I'm not saying it's Yowie. If there's anyone out there that would like to comment, feel free. But I'm in an area that would not see a lot of human traffic. And I don't know what we'd have in Australia that would have a foot that wide and push it down, push the soil down that much. But anyway, onwards. There's my mountain. I'll see if I can get even to the base of it. So I'm just standing on a big fallen tree, a couple of feet off the ground. Ooh, sweating. Humidity is very high today. I don't know whether to follow the creek along or take that little path up through there, follow this, maybe drop down through here, go up onto that little landing and then reassess. I think that's probably the best bet. Wow, that was a fun challenge. Out of the creek bed and into a little field, and I'll see if I can make my way up that way. I have to keep checking my bum bag, make sure it's still there. There's a nice little tree break over there. I wonder if that's natural. If anyone recognises where I am, feel free to leave a comment. Okay, so that one wasn't pushed over by another tree. Looks like it was pretty healthy when it was snapped. Yowies, I come in peace. I mean you no harm. There's another little break there, a couple of feet off the ground, 90 degree. There's a branch that could have fallen naturally. I'm not even going to look at that one. It's a plane. Yeah, that one's pretty natural. Alright, I'm going to push my way through there. I don't know if I'm going to get to the top of that ridge, but I doubt it. We'll see how we go. Just making our way through this field, and my little travel buddy found a brush or a bush that was pushed over or fallen over in all the rain, and decided it would be a good little place for a quick little break and a munch on a chocolate bar. You going to save some of that for me? I've got my little lightweight pack today, so it's easier. It's not a big backpack with 2 nights worth of camping. Oh, good on you. Thanks for saving me some. Don't mind me, I'm just munching on the last part of my chocolate bar. But this is what caught my attention, was this bush pushed over into a little bit of a clearing. And then look at this. There's a different type of branch skewered in through it. See how it's not the same? Look at that, that's been pushed through. And this thing's pretty well embedded in the dirt. Sometimes when you come on these trips and you're looking for things, it's easy to doubt your own mindset, if you're crazy or not. But then you sort of have to keep an open mind for it. So I just come up to this part here. You've got a tree branch there with the base down at the ground, which doesn't look like it's in the ground. You've got the fork splitting there. Then you've got another little fork that's been broken off here and just placed inside that. And then this one is just sitting in the soil, snipped off. Let's get this out of here. Snapped off with a bend. And there doesn't seem to be too much in the way of branches up there. But that was just placed like that with the other little one inside it, and then the base just sitting in the soil. Now I've also still got to be mindful of pigs in this region. And I just want to state for the record that not every tree structure is yowies. Obviously there's a lot of natural ones, but when you get ones like this as well, it looks like an X. They cross over there. You got one down there. Obviously they're fire damaged, so they will fall over naturally with the fire damage, but if the stumps aren't there, that one could be natural, yeah. And that one there, the stump's intact. You can see where that one on the left came down. It did break that other little branch. It's poking that way. So this one would have come down first. Probably naturally, although it is butted up against the other branch going up. And then this one came down afterwards. Of course it could be natural. I'm just documenting what I find, what I come across. Two little branches crossed over intricately. One there and another one there. Okay, so I'm making my way up this ridge. I'm probably about maybe a third of the way. And I come to this one here. Doesn't look like much. There's not really much up there in terms of debris that could fall. Follow it down. You got the base just clubbed in the soil like that. The ground's a lot drier here, obviously, because the water runs off. But this thing's just sitting on an angle. You got another break there. Yeah, could have happened naturally, of course. But usually when you come to these things, you sort of find a little section where they'll leave a lot of markers like this one here, just resting. Look at that on the ground. I'm sorry if I'm destroying the little tree structure. This one here is probably natural, but that one there was just placed. Oh, making our way up the side of the mountain, and here we got another one. Snapped off. Could be from that one there, I don't know. But obviously it's just sitting here, leant up against this. It could have come from there. Something could have just snapped that off and then laid it down here. Just seemed a little bit abnormal to me. Clouds are looking pretty grey. I wouldn't mind a bit of rain. My boots are wet anyway, and my feet, so I've got a raincoat. It'd be a nice refreshing spritzer for a Sunday afternoon. And this is a lot easier going than into that creek. That creek was quite challenging. Having to go over and under lots and lots of big logs and deadfall. I can see the mountain up there. So I'll just make my way through, see what we can find. Hey, butterfly! If you want to get to the top, you got to put in the effort. And I think the only way for me is through there. I'm just going to have to pick a line through this lignum somewhere. I can see the ridge up there, so I got myself a little whacking stick. I think this is probably going to be the easiest way. Hopefully there's no real sharpy bits. Wait. Now this region or vicinity is actually where I found the large, what I believe is a predatory cat / panther scat. I'm on the other side of the mountain. Certainly not very stealthy, but ow, sharp. Almost time for some lunch soon. It's 1:45. Rehydrate, get these. Here's a nice 5-foot limb broken off at both ends and just sitting upright in between the fork of this tree. Look at that, just propped up there, stuck in the ground. There's no base there. Obviously it's old, but that's a pretty clear indicator there, wedged between two like that. It's almost 2 o'clock and I've still got a ways to go. Probably. So I found some more scat. Seems to have fur. So it could be a feral cat or maybe a feral dog, I don't know. You can see the whispers of fur there. A little bit of bone. Well, it's not that the ambition isn't there, But up there, the top of that tree line looks like the top of the ridge. It's still quite a ways to go in terms of altitude, and it's now 20 past 2. I'm yet to have my lunch break, so it's hard to know where to go. Maybe I'll duck up that way find the ridge up there, reassess, try and get my bearings. The sun's dropping down to the west over there. Kookaburras are saying hello. G'day fellas. I think they're honey eaters. Yeah, they are. Blue-cheeked or blue-faced honey eaters. Hey guys! Wouldn't it be funny if I got a Yowie whistle back? Well, I don't like to say it, but I think I'm beat for the day. It's probably going to be too hard to do. The sun goes down about 6:30, and I don't really want to be up here come nightfall. So I might just make my way over there, find a tree, have some lunch, smash down a nice coffee that's been agitated well, and then see if I can find a track and head back. Maybe even seeing if I have time to have a swim at a watering hole, seeing as it's so hot. Well. I just thought I'd come over here to this other little ridge line and have some lunch, looking for a tree. And then I turn around and find this. Now obviously these size logs could be picked up by humans, no worries at all. But if they're out here messing around like this, then good luck to them. Now that's definitely not natural. I just did a big wood knock before, see if I get a response. I'll be sitting down quietly for a bit of lunch. Cheese and crackers and relish and a nice coffee. My. They definitely have been strategically placed. Easily capable of a human doing it, but I really am right out in the sticks. There's Mount Barney there. The Sasquatch mobile is probably down that way, maybe as the crow flies, 6-7 k's. Now I can see some trees, some rocks down there, so it looks like a bit of a gorge. I might make my way down there and see if I can find some water. Jesus. And it does look like it shelves off quite a bit there, so I might drop down in there after my lunch. See what I can find. Hopefully it's not too steep. There's another weird looking tree arrangement. I'm not too good with my tree species, but that looks like a grey gum or something like that. But there's no real grey gums in close proximity. These other two behind it are like a striped bark texture, whereas this one's got no bark on it at all. I think I'll go off to the left. Just listening. Right, I'll follow this one as long as as far as I can go, and then see where I end up. Well, the water was so clear here I had to do a double take. How crystal clear that is. You have to be very careful over this lichen on the rocks. It's extremely slippery. Right, I wonder if this will end up being where I think it's going to come out. Hopefully we can find some larger rock pools further on. Just snaking my way down through this riverbed. And then I'm keeping off to the sides, and you come across something like this. Just a little lonesome little stick, just sitting across. It's not even in the ground at that end. And that end there, I reckon, is just shoved into the soil. Yep. Just sitting there. Going across a little bit of a trail, or game trail. So up through there was where I had lunch, at the top of that peak sort of thing. Well, humidity is pretty high here today. Glasses are fogging up. Sweating bullets. Ain't much stealth action happened down here. This is what I want to see, is some spongy soil, spongy ground, where footprints can be left. I'll go to the left. Getting to the summit's overrated anyway, and if I turn back now I can still make it for happy hour. Not. So I'm still out in the sticks, out in the burbs. Pretty much no idea where I am. I mean, I know I came up over that ridge that way, maybe like 1.5 kilometres away. The car's probably over that way. Mount Barney's through there, but it's covered by mist and rain. The creek's over that way, about 100 metres. And then I come across this. Just one lonesome little stick, just standing upright in the ground. Top of the stick there. And watch this. Look at that. Just poked into the ground. Like that. Clearly it wouldn't have fallen with enough force to land in the ground like that. There's that much leaf litter and debris that a stick that light would no way near. See, I mean, if that came down even much higher, there's no way to penetrate the ground that hard. Clearly some sort of a signal. And I've had my fair share of spiders across my face, thanks. So the creek's just down there. I stepped out of there because of the rain. I'll make my way down this way, see if I can find a track, and then get my way back to the Sasquatch mobile. At least my footfall is covered by this rain. Wow, look what I found. Just off to the side of the creek, I found a nice watering hole. I was planning a swim, but maybe not in that. Ooh, spider, 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 spider. And for all those Americans watching, we don't get gators here or crocodiles. I'm too far south by about 1,000 k's. I'll just use this tree as a little bit of shelter. So just sit back, relax. If you're in a nice comfortable chair or lounge, get yourself a cup of tea and enjoy the serene environment and the pitter-patter of rain. Now, do I follow this little goat track? Not knowing which way it's going to go. Or do I hang a sharp right? I think I'll hang a sharp right. Oh look, tree break. I'm not going to worry too much about Yowie evidence right now. I don't know if you can hear the thunder. That's interesting. the rock. Now, depending on how hungry yowies are, that'll gauge whether or not they hunt in the rain. Alright, so here's an interesting little piece. We've got a fresh tree break right here. Snapped right there like that. There's no way that that was done by the wind, or a pig, or lightning. It's pretty recent because it's nice and green. And then over here, we've got some funky looking scat. Alright, it's time to bug out. So I'm just making my way off this escarpment. I just scared the bejesus out of a kangaroo. He was hiding in one of the little bushes over there and just went bounding off to the left. I was going to say I can't really use the sun as a navigational marker, but popped out now. So I'll just follow my way down here and see how we go, see if I can find the creek again. But it's a little bit steep off to the left. I'm going to go around this way. Sometimes you have to zig and zag through the bush. Definitely looks like it shelves off quite a bit down there. So if I've cut myself off to the right too much, I might have a bit of a walk back. Could be some cliffs up this way. Oh, there's the creek. Yay! No need to worry about crossing the creek now, I'm wet. As long as it ain't flowing too fast. I've just got to work out how to get down there. Or do I head up that way? I think I'll go this way. There's a little game trail along here, look at this. Okay, I don't want to go too high and do too much of a drop down. There's a stream up there. Okay, I'm going to flank this ridge. Follow this game trail, I think. So you can see how quickly a bit of a mini torrential downpour can turn a slightly shallow, slow flowing creek into a bit of a torrent. Yeah, you got a lot of muddy water on that side. Okay, I think this is my cutting. I think I'm just going to have to drop down through this little gully. You can see the creek there. It doesn't look too wide, not flowing too fast. It is a little bit further up. But I think that's going to be where my crossing point is. And I'll bid the forest au revoir. Stay safe, yowies. Love the way the rain drops down through those trees with the light. Everyone needs a montage. Job done. Now let's find a little crossing. Looks a bit the worse for wear. Yep, good call to leave the Sasquatch mobile back further and do the walk in. This is just a bit of runoff from the rain we just had. Quite a fair bit making its way down to the big creek. And there's the gate. Another kilometre and a bit after that. Geez, if anybody was climbing Mount Barney today, I wish them good luck, because it wouldn't be nice to get caught in a storm like that on the mountain and then having to come down over a really slippery rock surface. Be safe. So I'm just looking back at the mountain to try to work out roughly where I might have been. It's a bit hard to tell the altitude and the gradient, but I reckon where that little red ridge plateaus off to the left hand side, where the dark cloud turns into the white cloud. I don't know if the GoPro's going to pick it up, but I reckon I got to about there 2/3 of the way up, and then I walked off down the side there and up this dirt track for the last couple of k's, and then the Sasquatch mobile is just down there. Wow, that was quite a fair bit of rain. Look at the depth indicator.